Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of UDS Interviews, our series where we chat to interesting people from around the world. Now, 2021 has already seen a big screen fight between King Kong and Godzilla. So when I say that my guest this week has given us one of the most destructive releases of the year so far, you know they're not messing around. But here to talk about their upcoming EP and more, it is my pleasure to introduce Alex from Melbourne's finest, Drown This City.
So much. I love that intro. That was so good.
I speak no lie. I speak no lie. Alex, how are you doing?
I am very good. I'm just chilling here at band practice in Melbourne, so probably hear some musos doing their thing around me. But yeah, doing really well.
Awesome. Well, here at UDS, we don't just like to, just chat to people, band to interviewer. We like to make friends. And one of the ways I like to make friends is by asking the hard-hitting questions. And that is, if you were a type of sandwich, what kind of sandwich would best represent you as a person?
Oh my God. Okay. Disgusting. But I'm obsessed with, this is the first thing that came into my mind. I'm really obsessed with noodles.
Okay.
So I'm like, maybe I'd put noodles on a sandwich and then maybe I would fry this. Maybe I would cook some like spicy noodles, make some toast, and then maybe I'd toasty that.
Hell yeah. That's great.
I think that would probably explain me as a person. A bit spicy on the outside, a bit of a noodle on the inside, maybe.
That sounds perfect. I mean, I don't know I don't know if you have it over there, but like our sort of brand name as like ramen instant noodles is called super noodles in the UK, and when I was at uni, super noodle sandwiches were like a staple. If you were that lazy, you would just like boil up some noodles, fry them up or whatever, stick them in a sandwich, and that would sort you out for the evening. So I have got a lot of time
for that. As a fully fledged adult, I had noodles for dinner tonight. It's just ridiculous. I don't know, they just taste so good.
Exactly. It is a solid choice. But as much as I could talk about sandwiches and noodles for the rest of the day, we should probably talk about music, because that is the reason you are here, and that is that you've very recently, should I say, announced your upcoming EP, Colours We Won't Know, which is dropping at the end of this month, so very, very shortly on May the 28th. So you've already released a couple of tracks off it, but what can people expect from sort of the whole package?
Yes, we've released 2 tracks. One of them dropped today, which is really cool. This EP is so sick. It's so different to anything we've put out before, and I think what people can expect when they hear the rest is that it doesn't sound like what they've heard so far on this EP, and I think that's really exciting. So we've dropped 2 tracks that maybe are a bit more commercial, but there's some surprises in there, and we've got a little bit experimental, and we do have a new vocalist that you may have realised, so Toby, and his vocals are just wild. So we were like, as soon as we got him in the studio, we were like, okay, we're going to push you, let's do this, let's do that, and there's just lots of really crazy things on there, so lots of heavier songs, heavier elements. It's a very different sound for us. I'm really excited to release it.
If you were saying that the tracks you've released are the most commercial ones so far, I was going to say Toby's vocals have sort of, made it sort of some of the most visceral stuff you've put out so far already. So I'm really excited to see how heavy it goes for the rest of the EP.
I know you're laughing about the song we put out today because Toby's like a death metal, deathcore vocalist. So he does like trolls, like crazy screaming, and then we put that under like a pop punkish vibe of this song that we released today, and he does like, he can pitch his kettle troll screams to my high clean vocals in the chorus.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck is this guy? So yeah, it's interesting you say that. I guess I hear it as a bit more commercial, but that's says what's to come is going to be a lot heavier.
100%, and you are completely correct that it's very unique in a way to have such heavy vocals matched with obviously your vocals and the melodic beats of the tracks as well. It is something that it feels really fresh and exciting. I know there is it's getting harder and harder to, stand out because there's so many amazing bands and, people creating stuff, particularly in lockdown. But yeah, this EP, of what I've heard so far, is one of the most unique things of the year so far. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest.
Thank you. That's awesome.
No worries. And looking a little bit later down the line, you've also got a tour happening in November. But I know that the touring and the live scene over there is a little bit ahead of, I think, what we're in the UK. So what is it like to be a live band at the moment?
Yeah, that's a good point. And we were meant to be doing the tour in November right now. Actually, a month ago. So we should have finished it. But we are very lucky that we do have live shows back. Still a bit of a limited capacity, but we played our first show again probably about 3 weeks ago with In Heart's Wake. And being on stage for the first time in 500 days. And what a rush. Like, you forget the adrenaline, you forget all those feelings, and you got on stage and we were like, holy shit, this is why we do this. This is why we do this. Obviously still limited. So this year we can't play that many shows, but we are doing a big festival with really big bands, and all Australian bands. Make them suffer North Lane, so that'll be a really good experience for us to sort of get that vibe again. And then, back out for those shows like day after day in November, which will be really good. So I wish we could come overseas. I'm dying to get overseas. It's just devastating. Fingers crossed, maybe next year.
Absolutely. Well, whenever you guys can make it over here, then definitely the pints are on us or the London show.
Yes.
There's got to be a London show.
We'll take you on.
I mean, it sounds like a plan. That sounds like a plan. But I take it you've managed to sort of, test out a few of the new tracks live on these shows so far.
We have, yeah.
So what?
Because
I know
it's nice because we were playing to an audience that wasn't there for us specifically. And so we could just play whatever we wanted. New lineup, new songs, and we tested them out, and the response to the new songs were really good.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So out of the new ones, which one are you most looking forward to sort of, playing in front of, like, your home, your home team fans, the ones that are there to see you?
Okay, I'm allowed to talk about them now too, because we announced that the names of the tracks today was really good. Ironic, like, what people will notice is Toby and I split quite strangely on the tracks. Like, sometimes it's all me, sometimes it's more him. And it just happened naturally that way because he was so good. When it got heavy, we were like, dude, this has to be you. But there are two songs that kind of go together. One's soft and one's heavy, and they flow into each other. So Gemini and Time Won't Remember Us. I'm giving too much away, but fuck it, I don't care. Time Won't Remember Us, that track, it's going to blow people away. It's so goddamn heavy. And I think when people hear that live for the first time, they're going to freak out.
Awesome.
I'm really, really proud of it.
Cannot wait.
Just giving all our secrets away.
I mean, I'm never going to say no to a scoop, so please do spill the beans. But before you get yourself in any more trouble, here at UDS, we don't just talk about music. We talk about everything pop culture. So we'll talk about movies, video games, everything that basically we find interesting. We tend to have a chat about it. So with that in mind, if you could have one of your tracks featured in anything at all, so whether it be a movie or a video game or anything like that, what would be your dream thing?
Holy shit. What a great question. Okay. Okay, I'm a sucker. I don't know if it would match, but I'm like a hardcore fan of like Lord of the Rings or like The Hobbit, or just like, I know it's so nerdy, just like fantasy stuff. So I would love if one, it just would not work, but that would be sick. Okay, what else? What else could we do? Or like even a superhero film. And have one of our songs as like the theme for a superhero film with like that would be sick. Yeah. Absolutely. Anything fantasy? Yeah.
I mean, I think it could work with fantasy because particularly with some sort of like big fight scene or a big battle or something like that where people are getting hyped up or whatever, you could definitely do that. And there is this whole thing where people are like rescoring popular movies with like modern tracks and everything like that. And I would love to see something like Lord of the Rings done with sort of, a metalcore, tech metal soundtrack. I think that'd be dope. So let's make it happen. Somehow we will make this happen.
We'll just do a clip like, a big like fantasy film clip or something one day, maybe.
That's it. I mean, or we just, make a fantasy film. They filmed all of it, Lord of the Rings in New Zealand. That's just, I don't know geography, but I'm assuming that's just like a ferry ride for you guys.
It is so close to Australia. Yeah.
So there you go. Just make yourself Drown This City fantasy movie to go along with the EP. I'm sure that's really cheap. No one, everyone can do it. But anyway, until we can film Drown This City, the musical, the fantasy film, what is sort of, the rest of your plans for 2021? Obviously, things are still a little bit up in the air, but after the EP, what's next for you guys?
Well, obviously just delivering this EP as much as we can. We're finding new ways to deliver it worldwide because obviously we can't tour internationally. And just really honing into like online platforms. Like, how cool is it that we can do a Zoom interview? Like, we never thought of doing a video like this, connecting all across the world. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to tap into those avenues. So we're going to be releasing a lot of things online, trying to get as much as we can out there, so that when we do tour, we reach more people this year. But we really want to write an album, and everyone's sort of asking for it. We've got the time. We can't go anywhere. We're literally stuck in Australia. So we think that's definitely going to be our next big thing.
Very exciting, very exciting. Well, until then, hopefully you guys can make it over to the UK and we can do this in person or sometime. Because as much as Zoom is cool, it's not the same as clinking a beer and having a sit down. But until that time, we have one traditional question which we always ask our guests, and that is, we are UDS, which stands for Upside Down Shark, as you can kind of see behind me. Don't ask me why we went with Upside Down Shark. It's a name we thought up many years ago, and we're in way too deep to change it now. However, what is your favourite shark? And it could be real, it could be fictional, it could be a shark from a movie or a shark from nature. Yeah. But what would you say your favourite shark is?
I already know the answer to this one. Definitely a hammerhead shark, because they are so fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I love them. Yeah. Like, straight up, what the fuck? Like, they are so scary. So 100%. Yeah. And if I could be a shark, I'd be a hammerhead shark. That's very cool. That's very cool. I mean, I don't know. Again, geography, especially Australian geography, is so bad. Is Melbourne near the coast at all? So, yeah, it is actually. But, like, we're at the bottom of Australia. So, like, the big bit, and then we're, like, down there. Beaches are shit, and it's really cold. But there's definitely sharks. I was going to say, yeah. Whenever I chat to people from Australia, I'm always a bit tentative. Like, what is your favourite shark? Because I don't know whether or not you've been attacked by a shark or something. Yeah, like we're so triggered. There's sharks fucking everywhere down here, man. Yeah. I mean, I would love to go to Australia, but the stereotype is that everything in Australia wants to kill you, and I don't know how true that is. But yeah, no, it's true. Yeah. I mean, I suppose the danger has bred a whole sick music scene, a whole sick metal scene. So if that's 100%. The inspiration, 100%. But Alex, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you today. You mentioned that you're going to be doing a few online things beforehand. So until people can see you globally at a show sometime, where can people find you guys online? Awesome. Yeah. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everything. But we're trying to get like more interaction on Instagram too, and just chat to people. So come follow us on Instagram, and we'll like chat to you and connect and just have some fun. But definitely we've got 2 new clips out on YouTube, so that's a good place to start, for sure. Very cool, very cool. Well, I know what I will be doing after this call, and hopefully see you down the line. Awesome. It was so nice to speak to you. Thank you so much. Anytime.